scratch programmers. So today we will learn a very interesting game, and I'm sure that you all have played this game, right? So what is a maze game? Just for those people who does not know and who never played, and that is very unlikely, but still. Okay, so for them actually, this is called a maze. This black different places, like different lines are written here, right? So for a maze game, always there would be a start position and there would be a end position or a goal. Okay, and then you have to go through different paths. You can take any path you want, but you cannot touch the wall, and then you need to go to the end or the destination. So in this case, if you see, we have a small Tweety and we have the end position, there is an apple. So Tweety needs to go to the apple. She's very hungry, I must say. So in that way, you need to find a path so that she can go there. Okay, so let's see, if I go like this. Oh, there is no apple. So I need to find a proper path so that I can touch the apple and wins the game for Tweety. Right, so this is what a maze game is. Now today we will learn, because we are the smart kids, we will just not play games, right? We create games. So today we will try to see how can we create a maze game. Okay, so for a maze game, as you understand that the backdrop needs to be a maze, right? So for writing or drawing a maze, first you go to the backdrop and go to the backdrop where you can write your backdrop or draw your backdrop. There is two ways. One way, you can download a maze picture from internet and you can use that, or you can draw your own maze, and that is very simple. Let me show you how. So let's say I took empty backdrop. Right now, just take the lines and make the lines little thicker. Okay, and then you just put the mazes like this. Now if you see, still I feel like the mazes or the walls are little thinner in this case. Let me just select the line if you can, and increase the width maybe to 20, whatever you feel comfortable. Let me see, I'll take a 25. Okay, now just draw your maze, whatever you want the maze to be. This is your game, so you can have any kind of, maybe a difficult maze, a easy maze, any maze you want, you can do that. Okay, so this is how you can put your maze whatever way you want. Maze. So on the code, right? So as you know, whenever we have backdrop, right, the first thing on the backdrop's code would be that whenever the program starts, what would be my backdrop, right? So whenever the green flag gets clicked, my backdrop should be maze, because I already have some other backdrop for, let's say, for game over or you win the game, right? So for those I have some other backdrops as well. So I need to make sure that when the program starts, my program knows where to start from with respect to the backdrops, right? So that is backdrops code. Now let's go to the more complex code for the chick. Okay, so for the chick, how your chick would move, right? So generally when you do your maze game, you use your pens, right? But here we cannot use that. But actually, we can use that with a pen extension. That for that I would come to you later. But for now, let's see how my chick can go there. So I can use my left, right, up and down arrows to tell the chick that you go left, right, up and down. So for that, if you go to the control block, event block, then you can get this hat block, which says whenever a particular key is pressed, do this stuff, right? So we can make this a up arrow, right arrow, left arrow, down arrow, or any kind of arrows, and you can use that. So let's say for up arrow, so let's say we take this up arrow key pressed. So whenever our up arrow key pressed, what we want the chick to go upward. So to go upward, right, first we need to understand that the chick should move. So for that we have this move 3 steps. Now for every time you put this move 3 step, it will always move to the right. That is how the scratch is. Now if you want to say scratch that okay, you move to a particular direction, maybe left, right, up, down, or north, south, east, west, right? So these direction you have to specify. Okay, so similarly I put this when up key pressed, left arrow, right arrow. So for the left arrow I put point in direction to -90, which is kind of a left. And we have done this, right? Up arrow, up, down, right, and left. So if you can just try this out. Okay, I have changed some point in direction. Let me do for up arrow, it's fine, 0. For down arrow, it should be 180. Okay, and so if I try my chick, I can see that it can go to left, right, up, and down, right? Okay, now when the flag clicked, we need to put some of the some setups or the configuration. These things are very important. First thing is set size. If your chick is larger, you can set it the size to a reduced value so that it looks perfect on your stage. Then the rotation style is left and right because you don't want your chick to go upside down. And then point in direction, you can put that or whatever way you want. If you want, so for this case point in direction is 180, which is kind of downward direction, but if you don't want, that is also fine. And then go to XY position. This is very important because every time the flag is clicked, you want your chick to start from a specific position, not anywhere in the stage, right? You want this chick to start from this particular position where the start is. So for that, look up on the XY position here and put that XY position in the go to XY, right? So that every time your chick starts from here. Now I have all the setup. My chick starts from here. I have the maze. Did I tell you one thing? Okay, so in the maze, right, the destination or the apple also I have drawn it as an apple, as a picture in the backdrop. You can very well use the apple as a different sprite as well. That is also absolutely fine. And I would suggest to do that way only. Okay. Let me do and show you that way itself. So in that case, let me just take this apple out and choose another sprite, which is a apple. Okay, and let me put the apple in a particular position, which is here, and then I will just set the apple size little bit reduced as well so that it looks good on my stage. So first thing, when the green flag clicked, next thing is I want it to show when it comes, and I want the size to be reduced to a smaller number. Okay, and I think this is fine, and I want the go to XY position when it starts. So let me take the go to XY position, and here if you see x equal to 123 and y equal to -158, that is the value I'll put. Okay, great. So that is what all the, I'd say the infrastructure is now ready. Now let's see how the game happens. So for the first thing we want, whenever the chick touches the wall, the game should be over, because that's a wrong thing, right? You cannot do that. So in that way, what we can do is let's take this if block, right? Because the if says if it touches black, you want to go do a game over, right? So if it touches. Now if you go to the sensing block, which is this sky blue block, and take the touching mouse pointer, here you can you can say that if it touches mouse pointer, if it touches a age, or if it touches any other sprite. But in this case actually we are touching a specific color. So don't take this, take this one, touching color. Now one very important thing is that when you use the touching color, don't just go here and try to take any black, right? Because the black has lot of different variation, right? So this is also black, and if I change the saturation with your naked eye, that is also looks like a black. Okay, so we don't know actually what is the black in the maze game. So for that, Scratch has a nice extension where this is called a dropper. Can you see a dropper picture over here? Click on the dropper picture. Whenever you will click on the dropper picture, a big circle would come. And go to that particular color, which color you want in the if block. Whenever you touch the color, the circle, the border of the circle would become that particular color. Click on it, and then the touching color would be the exact same color as the color you want. Okay, so in this case, if touching color what you want to game to be over, right? So for that, as you already know, that we need to use a broadcast message. So let's take a broadcast message and put a game over here, and in the backdrop we'll say that whenever I receive a game over, I should switch back to light. I don't know why my backdrops names are bad. So the game over backdrop should name as game over. This you win should have a win backdrop. Okay, so in this case, when I receive a game over, I should switch back to game over, right? Now let's see if that works. It touches, but nothing is happening. Why? Okay, let me explain that what's happening. So I have put the if block over here. So whenever the sprite gets, whenever the flag, green flag gets clicked, it checks, it puts the size, it puts the rotation style, go to X, and it checks if the touching color black. So at the start position, the chick does not touch the color black. So nothing happening, right? And after that, never this code gets executed, right? So for that, we have to put a forever loop, so that every time whatever happens, always it should see if it touches the color black. Let's see, and oops, it touches the color and game is over. And then we want that the chick should go away or hide whenever the game is over. So for that, we go here, take a hide. So whenever it touches color, it should hide. And just remember that whenever if you put hide anywhere in your code, always remember to put show as well. Otherwise, it would not show at the next time, right? Okay, so this happens nicely, right? Let's see. Okay, and we don't want the apple also to be shown when the game is over. So in this case, what we can do, we can say that whenever backdrop switches to game over, my apple should hide, right? Same happens for the win as well. So we can take here it as that whenever a backdrop switches to win backdrop, that time also it should hide. Okay, now when I win, when the chick wins, when the chick touches the apple, right? It's very simple. Oops. Okay, let me take it here, and it touches the apple. Nothing happens because we have not written the code. So code is as simple as the other one. Take another if loop, and always remember to put the if in the forever, otherwise it would not keep on happening, right? So in this case, you can use your touching sprite. Okay, the first one was touching color, this one is touching apple. So whenever you touch it, first thing you do, hide your check and broadcast another message saying that you win. So in this case, another message which says win, and whenever you win, go to the backdrop and says that whenever I receive win, my backdrop should switch to win backdrop, right? Let's see. Okay, let me just take the chick over here because otherwise it'll take a long time. And ooh, you win. That's nice. Let me just play the game for you again. As now you understand this, I want to say two things. First thing is this up down arrow navigation you can do another way if you understand the XY position or XY coordinates. In that case, you can use change X by or change Y by to use this. So and in that way you don't have to use pointing direction as well. So if you don't use this down arrow, and if you know what our coordinates mean, then you can say that for down arrow you take the change Y by, because Y is the vertical line, right? So in that case down, so it's just give -3, and here you could give a right arrow, you could say 3, with that is the +3. For this you can up arrow, you can say, for up arrow you would need a change Y by, so change Y by should be 3, and not set, you should take change and change X by -3. So if you don't know what the XY coordinates are, go to our lesson on XY coordinates. Okay, now let's see if this works. This works exactly same as the other one. Okay, so this is first thing I wanted to tell. Another thing is that if you want any backdrop which you have already downloaded from the internet, and if you want to use, then go to choose sprite and go to upload backdrop, go to your photo library, and let me just download a maze backdrop. Go to Google, search for maze image, and go here, upload the photo which we have just now downloaded. Take this from here, done. Okay, so this is the new maze. Let's say this name is maze 1, and this is the maze you want to use. Fair enough, just take this portion and Command C, just use that much portion only, we don't want. And you can change your go to XY position to this -225 and 26. Right, so it's very small, I know, but if you play like this, this is little big, and you can play way you want. Okay, so if you see, when it touches the black, nothing is happening. So for that, actually you have to put this back and change the black color to exactly the color they have here. Okay, now let's run it and touch it, and the game over. Thank you so much. We will be coming with a different and more exciting game next time. Bye bye.